I'm gonna write this story to life. I can fix this one detail at a time. Make it a reality. When things look grim, I'll wear a grin. Where's my pen?
What did you do this time?
And I'll see it through. Everyone deserves a happy ending. Every broken story can be mended with a quill and a pen. We'll laugh and cry and do it all together again. Everyone deserves a happy ending.
I'll only be gone for 2 days. Ella, promise me that you'll be good while I'm away. No messes, no staying up past 8, and no reading any books that you aren't supposed to. Do you understand?
Yes, Aunt Mary.
Especially not that book. You know the one.
Wow. She has so many books, but I'm not even allowed to read most of them. I wish she would at least tell me why. This book? How did it get here? Aunt Mary said I shouldn't read it since it'll be trouble. Does it not have a title? I'll just take a peek. This is a fairy tale book. There's a bunch in here. Even some new ones. I can't believe Aunt Mary was keeping this from me. Maybe if I just read a little bit.
Once upon a time, there lived a girl with skin as pale as snow, hair as dark as ebony.
No way! I know this place. This is Snow White's story. That's her castle. Even the clouds in the sky look the same. But how do I get back? Ella returned home? Whoa! Whoa! This is incredible! I can read any page of the magic book and have it come to life.
I wonder if it works for other stories.
This is so cool. I love this book. I wonder why Aunt Mary told me not to read it. There's no harm in going inside. Oh, I can even meet my favorite princesses.
Ugh, who's there?
I wonder how these characters would look like 10 years from now. Aha! I think this is what I'm looking for. Inquisitive reader who has stumbled upon this page, read these words from left to right and turn 10 pages to have the characters age 10 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold on. The Wicked Witch passed away from old age. Oh no. What have I done? Geppetto died peacefully in his sleep with Pinocchio at his side. He's gone too? This is terrible. I should have listened to Aunt Mary. I ruined the fairy tales. Whoa! I don't believe this. I'm 10 years older too? I can't believe what I've done. This means I'm an adult now. I can do whatever I want. Being tall now is weird. Hello? Is anyone home?
Who's there? I won't let you rob me.
It's me, Aunt Mary. Don't you remember me? I might look a little different now, but I am the same Ella.
No, that's impossible. Ella went missing almost 10 years ago. You look and sound just like her, but there's no way you'd come back. Not now.
It really is me. I found a way to travel through time because of the books and jumped ahead 10 years. It feels like it's only been minutes for me, but everything looks so different for you.
Yes. Everything's completely different now.
Say, that purse there must be new, right? It's weird. Back when I last saw you, I never would have thought you'd be into something like that. You always said you hated flashy things. What's the occasion?
There was no occasion. I bought this days ago for my work, when I went out shopping again. I have a lot of new priorities now, Ella. A new life. Sometimes I want to buy flashy things. There's a whole lot of things I got while you were off wherever you were.
For work? You got a new job? Aunt Mary, you're acting not like yourself. I know this must be strange for you to see me. It's strange for me too. Think about it. I'm an adult now, so I'd be responsible and help out in ways I never could before.
Well, now that you're an adult, there's a lot of things you're going to have to learn. The problem with growing up too fast, Ella, is that you never had the time to pace out what you learn. There's a lot of things you have to suddenly understand, and you're going to have to learn those on your own.
What do you mean? I only just came back. I'm going to need you to help me adjust to everything that's changed.
Ella, it's been a long time. A really long time. I stopped looking for you years ago. I've had my own life to try and take care of. We all did. Now that you're an adult too, that's something you'll have to figure out.
I don't understand though. We're both together again. Everything I missed out on learning before, you can catch me up on now.
I can't. When you get older, the things that are important change sometimes. I'm leaving, Ella.
What? For how long?
For a long time. I'm leaving for good, Ella. I've been here alone for 10 years now, and if not for a few delays, I'd have already left. I'm happy that you've come back, Ella. I really am. But I can't give up my happiness for any longer. For me, this really doesn't change anything.
There's no way. You can't just up and leave. Not when I've only come back.
How many years should I be prepared to give up for you, Ella? Is it fair to me to just expect me to live my life for you, never getting to do anything for myself?
I didn't mean...
It doesn't matter what you meant. What matters is that when we tried to find you, you were gone. You can't come back suddenly and expect everyone to put their lives on hold for you all over again.
I'm sorry. I can still fix this. There's still time to go back and undo everything before it goes wrong. I can't find where I started. Too much time passed. I can't see the day where I rewrote everything to go back to.
Ella, I'm coming in. Be reasonable.
What are you doing?
I'm going to travel back and fix this.
You can't go back again. Show me that book. Give it here.
What are you doing?
Give it here. No.
You seem in a hurry.
I'm completely not alright. Everything is terrible.
Well, sounds like you've had a bad day so far.
I accidentally left my family behind for a long period. A lot longer than I meant to. When I came back, I thought things would be okay. But my Aunt Mary is moving away now and leaving everything behind. Including me.
Aunt Mary, you say?
Yeah, I've spent so much time with her through my whole life. But now it's like I don't matter to her at all. I know things are different now, but I was always at her house spending time with her, and she's just going so suddenly now? I don't know how to stop her. There has to be some way that I can... Whoa! What are you doing?
Your aunt left and met someone else, little girl. I don't care who you think you are. You can't just drop in to ruin people's lives whenever you feel like it. You'll ruin everything.
Who even are you? I don't understand anything. What are you talking about?
Of course you don't. You should have just stayed away.
Maybe you're the one who should stay away from me. Why are you even attacking me? You don't know anything about me.
I think you'll find that most of us know who you are, little girl. You're cornered now.
That does it. I'm out of here. What? Aunt Mary's room? Did she move the book in here after I left? I shouldn't really go through her things, but it's been a long time. I want to know what she's been up to while I was gone. This drawer is just completely filled with perfumes. Aunt Mary used to hate things like this. She said it always gave her allergies. What changed? I'd understand there being a few differences, but in some ways, it feels like she's not even the aunt I used to know at all. She said she bought this for her new job, but if that was the reason, why wouldn't she take it with her? It seems like she's bought all these new expensive things, but why would she need to lie to me about why she was doing it? Something doesn't feel right here. I wonder where Aunt Mary is now. Maybe she really is at her new job.
It's an unforeseen complication, that's for sure.
Aunt Mary was inside? Why?
Nothing about this situation is ideal, honestly. What are the chances that he'd even encounter her in there at that exact time and place? The universe has to be plotting against me at this point.
Does she mean the man I met? Who was he? How does Aunt Mary know him?
At least everything isn't completely ruined still. While it would have been significantly more ideal if Ella had given me the book in the first place, I can still salvage the situation. We can work with this.
None of this makes any sense. There's clearly so much going on here, but I don't understand anyone's motivation at all. I should go back to my room before she gets suspicious anyways. Wow, even after 10 years, everything's still the same way that I had it. Aunt Mary must have always hoped that I'd come back eventually. I wonder what changed. Huh? Who's there?
It's just me, Ella. I wanted to talk to you.
Oh, what about?
I was too harsh in what I said earlier. I'm sorry. I just felt overwhelmed after not having seen you in so long.
That makes sense. I suppose it was pretty sudden for you, even if it wasn't for me.
Ella, you've always been independent. No matter what I told you about playing around with the storybooks, You were always going to do what you thought was best. You follow your heart and trust that it'll lead you the right way no matter what. And now that you've grown, you've become the mature individual I always knew you would be.
Thanks, Aunt Mary. I appreciate that. I still want to stay here with you, though, so why can't we just do that?
That's part of growing up, Ella. You followed your heart and trusted it'd guide you. And while you've been gone, that's what I've done too. I can only make my choices and hope they're the right ones. Playing in storybooks is fun and games, but there are more important things in life that we have to worry about.
I think a lot of the things that happened in those storybooks were pretty important.
They were, when you were a child. But you're an adult now, Ella. There has to come a time when you forget about stories and fairy tales and figure out what's really important to you.
By the way...
Yes?
Don't worry about what you said, Aunt Mary. I know you must have just been feeling overwhelmed because of your new job.
My new what? Oh, you're absolutely right, Ella. Thank you for being so considerate of me.
I knew you were lying to me. There never was a new job. I knew somehow that I'd find you here again.
You again? You were lucky enough to have escaped me yesterday, but why would you willingly come back here to face me?
I need answers that no one seems to want to give me, and right now, you're my only lead.
You think I'd just willingly help you?
I've come back here again, so do you really think that I'm afraid of you? When we met, you reacted as if you knew who I was, even though 10 years should have passed. You attacked me without any provocation, and I know that you know who my Aunt Mary is. So answer me. How do you know her, and what have you been planning out here?
You have no idea of the damage you're doing and think yourself invincible. I deserve the truest, happy ending, and I won't let anyone stand in the way of that. Not even Mary's little brat.
I don't think so.
All right, let's see just how strong you are now. What? I know you. You're the prince from Snow White's story.
He's not exactly Snow White's prince anymore. I suppose he's not really my prince either anymore, though.
I don't understand what you're saying. What's been going on? Tell me the real story this time.
Let me explain from the beginning, then. It all started 10 years ago, when you disappeared. I had no idea for certain where you could have been, but I knew you were always exploring the storybook. It made sense to think that you could have gotten lost in there. So I went and sought out some of your old friends. I talked to them about what could have happened to you, when they'd last seen you, but no one was certain. The best we could do was search and hope to find you. We looked through all the forests, through every possible hiding hole that anyone had ever heard of, in case you'd gotten yourself trapped somewhere. Then we went through all the villages you'd visited, and to all the people you'd helped. Some of the people we met knew who you were, but none of them knew where you were. Finally, we explored all of the castles in the land, searching through every domain of king and queen, opening every lost room anyone had ever heard of, in the hope that you'd been wrongfully imprisoned or stuck as a servant somehow. You weren't. We didn't find you.
I don't know what to do without her. I don't know what else there is for me if she's gone.
I was inconsolable. I was so convinced that we'd be able to find you somewhere. When I had to accept that you weren't coming back, I had no idea what to do. I'd completely succumbed to despair and thought there was no chance of ever recovering my life after all the time I'd spent hoping. When I was there, at my most vulnerable, the prince was there for me. We'd started out the journey together as friends and confidants. By the time that years had come to pass, he and Snow White had grown distant, unhappy with one another. As time went on, he began to lean on me more. And without you, I had no one else around. I began to lean on him too. We became dependent on each other. Regardless of the circumstances, we knew no one in the kingdom would be accepting of us being together, even though Snow White had no interest in staying with him. We decided that if all we needed was each other to be happy, then we could accept that, and leave everyone else behind. We could elope together under the cover of darkness, escape the kingdom, and live out the rest of our days with one another.
So, that's why I found him in the forest the day we fought. He was waiting for you to come and meet him so that the two of you could leave. That's why you were going away from me, not because of a new job.
Yes. And that's why I went back into the book myself after we fought. I told him that I needed more time, and there were things I had to take care of again. He wasn't happy to hear it.
But why did you want to delay things? You told me that you were planning no matter what. Why didn't you just leave with him like you'd planned, the way I accidentally left you?
Because I knew it wasn't the right thing to do. Not once you'd come back. No matter the circumstances or what I'd planned, you're my family, Ella. I told you that you have to follow your heart if you ever want to be happy as an adult, and so that's what I did. I wanted to stay with you for longer. You coming back, it changed everything again.
If you were already reconsidering when you went to the prince to tell him you needed more time, why did you come back to my room and tell me to stop caring about the storybook?
I was still conflicted. I'd become so dependent on him during my moments of weakness that I couldn't imagine how I was meant to let go of him. When I went to talk with him, he convinced me that I should leave you. But I didn't think it was the right thing to do anymore. I kept desperately telling myself that there was a way to keep both of you, to go back to the way things were, but I was just blindly hoping. I had no clue he was willing to go so far as to attack you, and as soon as I saw him trying to, I knew there was no way to keep him in my life anymore. He must have known, even without me saying anything, that as soon as you showed up again, you'd be my priority. Maybe he thought by knocking you out and hiding you somewhere, he could convince me to leave with him before you could convince me to stay.
That's crazy. I can't imagine anyone would go so far for love.
That's not love, Ella. When someone only cares about having you, no matter who gets in their way and no matter what the person they're after wants, that's obsession. I should have stopped this sooner, and I should have seen the signs that he was capable of this. I'm so sorry for not prioritizing, for letting you be in danger from him, and for not holding out hope that you'd come back for longer.
Aunt Mary, this isn't your fault at all. I was so caught up in wanting to be mature and to be an adult that I never considered what could have happened if I did. I wanted to rush through my life so badly that I forgot everyone else would have to age with me too. You wasted so much time waiting for me. How could I ever blame you after the amount of your life you gave up just for my sake?
Even without having lived those 10 years you missed, you've become such a mature adult. You're going to be fine without me.
The thing is, Aunt Mary, I don't want to be without you. And I don't want to be an adult anymore either. There are so many things that I miss seeing in both of our lives that I know I'll regret forever if I don't get to experience. So, if it's okay with you, Aunt Mary, I'd like to go back and change all of this before it ever has to happen.
Ella, no matter how much time I give up for you, if that's what'll make you the happiest, then it's what I want you to do.
Are you sure? That'll mean living the life you've made for the last 10 years behind, including the prince.
I can't lie. It hurts to leave so much life behind me. I won't be so dependent on someone like him this time around, and I'll get to spend the missed time with you again, Ella, like I'd always wanted.
She's completely useless. She'll never be there for you like me.
If it was to make me happy, Ella would let me do whatever I wanted. But you only care about what makes you happy, Prince. I hope you can find what makes you happy without me.
You'll be alone forever. No one else will ever love you. I was the only one who was ever going to look after you, and you've thrown it all away.
I never knew being an adult was so dramatic.
I hope I don't have to be like this when I grow up properly.
Don't worry. I know you won't be. And together, the prince and the princess fell in love and lived happily ever after.
I'm glad that you got to be happy in the end, and I'm glad that we were able to turn everything back to the way it used to be.
You and me both, Ella. Who knows how things could have turned out if you hadn't gotten the book of time travel to work again.
I don't even want to think about it. The prince was awful. I'm just glad you don't need to rely on him anymore.
I'm glad too. But what about for you, Ella?
For me?
Is there anyone at school you've fallen in love with yet?
No way! Maybe when I'm older I can fall in love, but for now, that's way too much trouble for a kid to think about. There's no one else he could love as family other than you, Mr. Jacob. This world that you wrote with him, that's proof of it.
This world.
Sure, maybe you couldn't always be with him, but I'm sure you were always in his thoughts, thinking of what new stories to write with you.